welcome to this week's Maple News Show. Today there's a few things I want to talk about, and they'll kind of just flow on to, each different topic. To start off with, I've been, in the background, it's Shumi's Lost Bundle, the second quest. I'm kind of combining the two of those for this week, because I did tried, I had audio recorded for that jump quest, but I was testing out a new mic and it didn't work on my iMac for some reason. But yeah, so I'm just combining the two. Looking around on Maple, there've been a few threads on Basil. There's been a few threads of people asking, when will Maple end? How long do you think people will keep playing it? And I expressed the same viewpoint as a few people have said. A few people have said give it a few years, or it's been slowly dying off the past few years, but it probably won't really die off. I'm not sure how big the RuneScape communities are, and I've never played RuneScape, but I remember back a few years ago when it used to be popular. What really happened to it? Are people still playing it now? I'm not sure. I've never really wanted to get involved in it. But, it kind of leads into my next point, which is, they need to make it more interesting for, people to come back and play. There's a lot of people, Tony, Steve, Matt, they're all off playing League of Legends. I've been, I think I was invited to go and play it with them because they added me to the Facebook group for what they called Bello League of Legends. Well, Tony added me to it, but I'm playing D3 and I've got a little bit of D3 and I've got exams at the moment, and then I'm going to be working full time, so I don't really have the time to fit in another sort of third game or fourth game, which is kind of sad to say, but yeah. Next one really have to work on bringing in content that's that it attract people back. For example, all this jet stuff. As I was saying to someone today, I really think it's an exclusive content. I think it's just a distraction from things that are not fixed / not here yet. How Horntail's not fixed yet, GPQ's not fixed yet. There's so many things that have got flaws at the moment, and why are they dragging out the pirate revamp and thief revamp? People are saying, oh, it's never going to come. People are saying, Nexon, have been told not to do it because then it'll wreck the, based on what the character is and what it's all about. But I just can't see why they're going, oh yeah, it's coming, but not just yet. Why wouldn't they just build up some big hype to it? I know that with the whole jet thing, then there's Phantom coming after that, but I really can't see the point in bringing in another class that might just end up not being used. There might be some hype about it for a little while and then nothing else. And, the jet video looked really tacky. Just the first video they've released, I watched it expecting some, awesome trailer, for the battle mages and wild hunters and mechanics, that sort of thing. That was really cool. But then for the jet thing, it's just kind of okay, that's kind of funny, but not really. And, this who is Jet thing, I've got the answer to it. I googled it, and it came out as Jet is a blonde female rocker with extremely big hair and an exaggerated Valley Girl accent. So that can stop all the questions and everything. People have been asking me, do I really know anything about it? The stuff that people may not have heard, and honestly, no, not really. I've kind of looked into it, but I'm not really that excited about it, to be honest. It's just another class that's probably going to get tossed by the wayside once Phantom comes out and all the other revamps, and then it's going to end up being a class that constantly gets done over, either for good or bad, because there's not enough people playing it, i.e. Evans. I'm not hating on Evans, and I'm not hating on Nexon either in this point. I'm just saying that I'm just pointing out why are they dragging all this stuff out when they could just, they've been doing it month by month, but then suddenly there's a gap in between all the revamps that have been happening. Yes, they had the Maple event and everything, the 7-year thing, but why not include it in that? It doesn't make any sense. They're not really gaining anything from drawing it out there just pissing people off. But there is a positive. They've done the lucky Chaos Karadia, Mardia and Yolande get the World Alliance. That sounds really cool. I wish Bello would get something like that so we could meet more people. But I think they're getting fused, or they might have been fused already. I think the servers may have been up. I don't know. I've been studying. I just decided to do this video before I went to bed so I can render overnight and upload it before I go to do my exam. And so I don't know. It's just Maple is sort of dying. People are just taking time off. There's a few people in the guild who are busy either playing other games or busy with their real life stuff, and I get that. And I just think they really need to do something other than introduce a new class, because every time there seems to be a lull period, they just go, oh look, here's a new class, have this, do this, rather than think, what can we do that'll really bring people back into it, bring back old players and all that sort of stuff. New classes, there's a little bit of a fad for a little while, and then once you realise what the class actually is and how it compares to everything else, it kind of just dies off. Like, everyone thought Wild Hunters were going to be the bomb, they were for a little while, and then Mercedes comes out and replaces it. Just sort of thing. You rarely see some of those classes anymore. Like, I was one to like mechanics, because there weren't many around. Like, there were noobs and KSs who'd do it just for all those big hammer smashing skills, but when they got nerfed, you barely saw any mechanics around. And even today you don't. Same with Wild Hunters. Like, there's a few specific Wild Hunters with good skills and good equips, and they attack very well, but then the general population, you don't really see many. And I just think that they either need to, well, not do another big bang sort of thing, but just, I don't know, hopefully Phantom everything is being drawn out to, and the Thief revamp and Pirate revamp is really good, that it brings everyone back, because it's just kind of, well, I wouldn't say boring, because I always find stuff to do, like this quest. I just go off and do fun stuff that's challenging in some sorts. I tried another one of those jump quests, and it's probably the hardest one out of the old ones. The linear one, where it's like pure jumping left, all the way left, and then all the way right, and then all the way left, and then all the way right, all the way up the top, and it's so easy to fall down. I tried to make a video of it, but it was taking too long. So but I've been playing a little bit of D3, which brings me on to my next point. I was gonna leave you hanging on that to whether I was gonna make videos or not, but then I started thinking about it, and it's a hard thing to do as a side project. Like, I don't want to get drawn away from doing the Maple videos, because this is really what I want to do. It's what I've been working on. I don't want to be torn between two things, because then both end products won't be as good. I'd rather focus on one and make it really good. But if I were to do some Diablo 3 videos, what would you guys want me to play as, and what would you want to see? Because I think I haven't really been playing it that much because of exams and stuff, but I've finished Act 1, I think. So, like, would you guys just want to see me playing Act 1 all the way through, doing a whole series of that, and then when I've got time doing another act, the second act, and then going through all of that, probably not including the cutscenes, but comment down below and just leave me some advice on what you want to see, because there really is a lot to that game. Like, I've just been testing out different things. I like the idea of it's the crafting and getting different items, and it's fun. And if you guys are willing to give suggestions to what you want to see, I'd be happy to do a few things on that, as well as keeping up the Maple stuff, because that's one thing I wouldn't want to happen. Is because I've seen on some channels, people are commenting saying, when are you going to start doing these videos again, like going back to the old stuff, and I really don't want to draw away from stuff like this. But yeah, cubing, yeah, that's another thought. I'll see how I go. Yeah, I've got a couple of things I need to pay off before I can, start spending outrageously again. But I've decided I'll go cape and then gun because, as I think I was talking to I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was um, Mikey or someone talking about the gun, and that they said, well, since you've got that stat on the gun, why not work on getting another 12% dex or 15% dex on the cape, because then you've got that there, and then you can work on the gun. So yeah, I figure I'll just do that. But yeah, so that's really all I've got to say. But what do you guys think of all I've said? Do you think Maple's going to end at some specific point? Do you think it's just going to slowly die off? Are people going to lose interest? Is another game going to come out that'll just draw everyone away? I know a friend of mine, Moto, he keeps going on about Maple 2, the new Maple that they're supposedly coming out with that's completely 3D. I don't know how much of a fan I am of that, unless they make the graphics good and the gameplay not glitchy or anything like that. But yeah, do you guys think Jet will be interesting? It's just my opinion. I'm not going off anyone else's information presented. I just think that we don't need another class. But who knows? I might be wrong, and it might turn out to be really good. Yeah, I've got one last little segment after this is completed. It's someone who stalked me while I was off. Well, I was sitting AFK, but then I'm not one to neglect whispers. So someone travelled a very far distance to come and meet me, and they had a couple of questions, and I sat there and spoke to them for a little while, and then they wanted to say something at the end. So I'll try to track down the YouTube channel and put it in the link below. And yeah, as you can see, I completed the jump quest. Here's a message from a fanboy. Enjoy.